The Awakening. Dr. Mai Nakamura stood before the massive quantum array at the Mauna Kea Observatory, her eyes fixed on the strange patterns flickering across her holographic display. For the past 3 weeks, she had been tracking an anomaly, a signal that defied every known law of physics. It pulsed with a rhythm that seemed almost alive, emanating from somewhere beyond Neptune's orbit. Dr. Nakamura called out her research partner, Dr. Thomas Walsh, his voice tight with urgency. "The signal, it's changing." Mai rushed to his station, her heart racing as she watched the wavelengths shift and morph into something entirely new. The pattern now resembled a heartbeat, steady and deliberate, as if something vast and ancient was slowly waking up. "Run it through the quantum decoder again," she ordered, her fingers flying across the holographic interface. "And get me a direct link to Project Horizon." High above Earth's atmosphere, aboard the Zyraxian warship Eternal Blade, Fleet Commander Drax Cathal watched the blue planet rotate slowly on his view screen. His scaled fingers drummed against the arm of his command chair as reports from his advanced scouts filtered in. "Primitive defenses, my lord," reported his second-in-command, Officer Vex N.A. "Their most advanced weapons are barely capable of reaching their own moon. No energy shields, no quantum arrays, no plasma cannons." Draxer's lips curled into a smile, revealing rows of metallic teeth, a mark of his status in the Empire. "Another easy conquest for the glory of Zyrax," he said, his voice a low rumble. "Prepare the first wave. I want their orbital defenses eliminated within the hour." But something nagged at the back of his mind. In 3 centuries of conquest, the Zyraxian Empire had never encountered a world so quiet. Most civilizations, even primitive ones, showed signs of fear or preparation when a fleet appeared in their system. But Earth remained silent, continuing its daily routines as if unaware of the doom approaching from above. Back on Earth, in a hidden facility beneath the Pacific Ocean, Captain Rachel Henderson of the United Earth Defense Force received Mai's urgent transmission. The underground chamber, known only to a handful of people worldwide, hummed with ancient technology that no modern engineer could comprehend. "What do you mean it's waking up?" Rachel demanded, her dark eyes fixed on the quantum feed from Mauna Kea. "Nothing down here has moved in centuries." Mai's holographic image flickered as she transmitted the latest data. "The signal matches frequencies we've detected from the deep-sea installation. Captain, I think whatever's been sleeping down there knows they are coming." Rachel turned to her chief technician, Dr. Marcus John, who had spent the last decade studying the facility's mysterious architecture. "Marcus, what are we looking at?" The older man shook his head, his weathered face reflecting the blue glow of ancient symbols that lined the walls. "The entire facility is responding to something. Energy readings are rising, and look," he pointed to a massive circular door that hadn't opened since they discovered the installation, "the gateway is starting to resonate." In orbit, Drax Cathal's fleet moved into attack formation. 60 warships, each capable of laying waste to a continent, arranged themselves in the Empire's traditional spear pattern. At their head, the Eternal Blade powered up its main cannon, preparing to fire the first shot of what Drax assumed would be a brief conquest. "My lord," Vex N.A. called out, her voice carrying a note of concern. "We're detecting some kind of energy signature from the planet's surface. It's like nothing in our database." Drax waved away her concern. "Probably some primitive defense system. Nothing that can." His words were cut short as every screen on the bridge suddenly went dark. When they flickered back to life, a message appeared, written in perfect Zyraxian script. "You have entered protected space. Retreat immediately. This is your only warning." Drax stood, fury rising in his chest. "Who dares?" he roared. "Track that transmission." "Impossible, my lord," his communication officer reported. "The signal, it's coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. Our quantum trackers can't lock onto it." Deep beneath the Pacific, Rachel watched in awe as ancient machinery began to move. Massive gears that had been still for thousands of years turned with impossible smoothness, and streams of light flowed through channels in the walls like liquid starfire. "Captain," Marcus called out, his voice barely a whisper, "you need to see this." On his screen, data streamed in an ancient language none of them had been able to decipher until now. But somehow, the symbols were changing, transforming into modern text before their eyes. Protocol Omega initiated, Rachel read aloud. Guardian emergence in 3 hours. All personnel clear the activation zone. Mai's voice crackled through the quantum link. Captain, the alien fleet, they are charging weapons. In orbit, Drax Cathal gave the order to fire, his patience exhausted by this mysterious defiance. Show these primitives the power of the Empire. All ships, open fire. The sky above Earth lit up as 60 Zyraxian warships unleashed their fury. Plasma bolts and quantum torpedoes descended toward the planet's surface in a storm of destruction that should have devastated continents. Should have. Instead, every single projectile froze in mid-flight, suspended in space as if time itself had stopped. Then, one by one, they simply vanished. In the ancient facility, Rachel watched as new symbols appeared on the wall, glowing with an intensity that filled the chamber with blinding light. The message was simple but clear. The Guardian awakens. Earth will be defended. And somewhere in the depths of the Pacific Ocean, something vast and powerful stirred from its ancient slumber, ready to reveal to the galaxy that Earth was far from defenseless. It had simply been waiting for the right moment to show its true strength. Drax Cathal's confident smile faded as he watched his fleet's weapons disappear without effect. For the first time in his long career of conquest, he felt something he had never expected to experience. Fear. Beneath the waves. The depths of the Pacific Ocean churned with unprecedented force as ancient machinery awakened. In the submerged facility, now glowing with ethereal blue light, Captain Rachel Henderson and Dr. Marcus Jong worked frantically to understand the cascade of information flooding their screens. These readings are impossible, Marcus muttered, his fingers dancing across holographic displays. The energy output is greater than all of Earth's power plants combined, yet it's not producing any heat signature. Rachel watched as another massive door groaned open, revealing corridors that had remained sealed for millennia. Dr. Nakamura, are you seeing this? She called through the quantum link. At Mauna Kea Observatory, Mai Nakamura and Thomas Walsh monitored the situation from above. Affirmative, Captain. The facility's activation is causing ripples in the quantum field that we can detect even from here. But there's something else, something bigger. Before she could elaborate, a new voice joined their communication channel. This is Colonel Victor Ramirez of the United Earth Defense Council. As of now, Project Aegis is activated. All personnel are to report directly to me. Rachel straightened, recognizing the gravity in his voice. Colonel, we're witnessing something unprecedented down here. The facility is responding to the threat above, Ramirez finished. Captain Henderson, what you're standing in isn't just an ancient installation. It's the control center for Earth's true defense system. In orbit, aboard the Eternal Blade, Fleet Commander Drax Cathal faced a crisis unlike any in his centuries of conquest. His weapons had proven useless, and now strange energy signatures were emanating from Earth's oceans, confounding his best sensors. My lord, Officer Vexene reported, her scales shifting color with anxiety, 3 more scout ships have gone silent. They simply disappeared. And look at this. She projected a hologram showing massive energy movements beneath Earth's Pacific Ocean. Drax's metallic teeth ground together as he watched. Impossible. No primitive world could hide such power. Unless. His eyes widened as an ancient memory surfaced, a story told among the oldest members of the Empire about worlds that seemed defenseless but held ancient powers. Contact the High Command, he ordered. Tell them we found one of the sleeping worlds. Back in the underwater facility, Colonel Ramirez had arrived via quantum transport, his presence adding new tension to the already charged atmosphere. He stood before a massive holographic display showing the facility's full structure, a complex that dwarfed their previous estimates. 70 years ago, Ramirez began, we discovered the first signs of this installation. But what we found was just the surface level. The true facility extends miles deeper and houses technology that even now we barely understand. Dr. Marcus Jong looked up from his station. Colonel, these designs, they are not just advanced. They are showing signs of biological integration. Whatever we're awakening, it's partly alive. Mai's voice crackled through the com system. The quantum signatures match patterns we've only seen in theoretical models of consciousness. This facility isn't just a weapon, it's thinking. As if in response to her words, the facility's lights pulsed, and new passages opened, leading deeper into the complex. Rachel led the team down corridors that seemed to generate themselves as they walked, their walls lined with flowing circuits that resembled veins carrying luminescent blood. According to these readings, Marcus said, consulting his quantum tablet, we're approaching something the system identifies as their Genesis chamber. The energy signatures are off the charts. They entered a vast spherical chamber that seemed to extend infinitely in all directions. In its center, suspended in a column of light, floated what appeared to be a seed made of crystal and living metal, pulsing with inner light. Colonel Ramirez stepped forward, his face illuminated by the ethereal glow. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what our ancestors left to protect us. The Guardian's heart. In orbit, the Zyraxian fleet detected the power spike. Drax Cathal watched in growing horror as energy readings exceeded anything his instruments could measure. All ships, maintain distance, he ordered, but it was too late. The ocean beneath began to glow, visible even from space. The water itself seemed to part as something massive began to rise, something that defied description, a fusion of organic and mechanical forms that seemed to draw power from reality itself. In the Genesis chamber, the crystal seed shattered, releasing a wave of energy that rippled through their facility. Ancient text scrolled across every surface, and a voice, neither male nor female, neither human nor machine, spoke through the quantum network. Initial integration complete. Guardian consciousness online. Detecting hostile forces in orbit. Beginning primary defense protocols. Dr. Mai Nakamura, watching from her observatory, gasped as her instruments registered what was happening. The facility, it's not just controlling the Guardian. It's becoming the Guardian. The entire complex is transforming. Rachel and her team felt the chamber shift around them as walls became fluid, technology became organic, and the boundary between machine and life blurred. They were standing inside something that was awakening after eons of sleep. Colonel, Rachel said, her voice steady despite her awe, what exactly did our ancestors build? Ramirez watched as the transformation continued, his expression a mixture of pride and fear. Not build, Captain. They grew it. The Guardian is a fusion of Earth's earliest civilizations and something they encountered among the stars. Something that taught them how to create defenders that could evolve, adapt, and protect humanity long after they were gone. In space, Drax Cathal received an urgent message from the Zyraxian High Command, retreat immediately. You have encountered a world Guardian. The Empire cannot risk engaging such power. But as his ships began to turn, the ocean below had already opened like a blooming flower of light, and from its depths rose Earth's ancient protector, ready to show the galaxy why some worlds were left untouched by even the mightiest empires. The Guardian had awakened, and with it, Earth's true place in the cosmos was about to be revealed. The Guardian's rise. The Pacific Ocean boiled with ethereal light as the Guardian emerged from its ancient slumber. What rose from the depths defied description, a colossal being of living metal and crystalline energy, its form shifting between solid matter and pure light. Its surface rippled with patterns that resembled both circuit boards and organic tissue, while massive wings of energy stretched across miles of sky. From the observation deck of the now transformed underwater facility, Captain Rachel Henderson watched in awe as the Guardian ascended. Besides her, Dr. Marcus Jong's quantum instruments were overloading from the sheer power being released. It's beautiful, Rachel whispered, placing her hand against the crystalline viewport. The structure around them had become part of the Guardian itself, transforming into a living command center that pulsed in sync with the giant entity's movements. Colonel Ramirez's voice came through their newly evolved quantum communication system, which now seemed to operate on thought alone. The Guardian is fully operational. Dr. Nakamura, what are you seeing from your position? At Mauna Kea, Mai Nakamura and Thomas Walsh stood transfixed by their readings. Colonel, the Guardian isn't just rising, it's rewriting the laws of physics around itself. It's generating a field that seems to bend reality. In orbit, aboard the Eternal Blade, Fleet Commander Drax Cathul faced the greatest challenge of his military career. The Guardian now hovered between his fleet and Earth, its size dwarfing even his largest battleships. Its presence alone was causing his ship's quantum drives to fluctuate dangerously. "My lord," Officer Vex Na called out, her voice trembling, "the Guardian, it's looking at us." Indeed, the massive entity had turned its attention toward the Zyraxian fleet. What appeared to be eyes, massive orbs of swirling energy, focused on them with an intelligence that felt ancient and absolute. Then it spoke. Not through conventional communications, but directly into the minds of every being in the fleet. Their voice was neither male nor female, neither young nor old, but carried the weight of millennia. "You have violated protected space. Your weapons are disabled. Your ships are held. Choose your next action with care." Drax Cathul, despite his rising fear, maintained his warrior's pride. "We are the Zyraxian Empire. We do not yield to." Before he could finish, the Guardian moved. Not with the lumbering pace its massive size would suggest, but with impossible grace and speed. In an instant, it was among the fleet, its energy wings passing through ships as if they were mere holograms. Wherever the wings touched, systems went dark, weapons deactivated, and quantum drives ceased functioning. In the transformed facility, now integrated into the Guardian's consciousness, Rachel and her team witnessed everything through a new kind of awareness. They weren't just watching the Guardian, they were experiencing its actions through a shared neural network. "Amazing," Marcus breathed, his fingers dancing across holographic displays that emerged from the living walls. "The Guardian isn't just defending, it's systematically disabling their entire fleet without causing any casualties." Colonel Ramirez nodded grimly. "Because this isn't about destruction. It's about sending a message to the galaxy." At Mauna Kea, I made a startling discovery. The Guardian's energy signature, it's being broadcast across the quantum network. Every advanced civilization within 1,000 light-years will see this demonstration. In space, the Zyraxian fleet floated helpless as the Guardian continued its work. Ship after ship went dark, their mighty weapons reduced to useless metal, their advanced shields penetrated as if they didn't exist. Drax Cathul watched in horror as the pride of the Empire was systematically neutralized by a power they couldn't even begin to comprehend. The Guardian's voice echoed again in their minds, "Your empire is young. Your power is limited. Earth has slept while civilizations rose and fell. It sleeps no longer." Through the neural link, Rachel suddenly understood something crucial. The Guardian, it's not just one entity. It's connected to others, isn't it, Colonel? There are more of them out there. Ramirez's expression was solemn. "Earth isn't the only world that holds ancient secrets, Captain. The Guardian is part of a network, a system created by civilizations so advanced they transcended what we consider possible. They left these protectors not just to defend, but to maintain balance in the galaxy." In orbit, Drax Cathul received a direct neural transmission from the Guardian. Images flooded his mind, countless worlds, each with its own Guardian, each waiting in silence for the moment they would be needed. He saw empires rise and fall, saw countless species reach for the stars, and understood that the galaxy was far more complex than even the Zyraxian Empire had imagined. The Guardian's form shifted again, now resembling a massive geometric pattern of pure energy. Its wings spread wider, encompassing the entire fleet in a field of scintillating light. When it spoke again, its message was clear and final. "You will leave this space. You will carry our message to your empire and to all who would threaten the balance. Earth is awakened. The network is active. The age of unchecked conquest is over." In the transformed facility, Rachel watched as new information flowed through the living walls, star charts, quantum frequencies, and coordinates for other Guardian worlds. Earth wasn't just defending itself, it was taking its place in an ancient system of cosmic guardians. "Colonel," she said, "what happens now?" Ramirez smiled for the first time since the crisis began. "Now, Captain, we learn. The Guardian isn't just a weapon, it's a teacher. Our ancestors left us more than just protection. They left us a key to understanding our true place in the universe. Above, the Guardian began to pulse with new energy, its form simultaneously more solid and more ethereal. It had demonstrated its power, but this was just the beginning. Earth's true awakening, and its role in the greater galaxy, was only just beginning. Echoes of the past. As the disabled Zyraxian fleet hung motionless in Earth's orbit, the transformed facility beneath the Pacific Ocean revealed its final secret. The living walls shifted, opening a new chamber that had remained sealed for millennia. Inside, Captain Rachel Henderson, Dr. Marcus John, and Colonel Ramirez discovered what appeared to be a vast library, but unlike any they had ever seen. Instead of books or digital archives, the chamber contained crystalline structures that pulsed with stored memories and knowledge. Each crystal seemed alive, humming with information that spanned ages of Earth's hidden history. The hall of echoes, Colonel Ramirez breathed, his voice filled with reverence. We theorized it existed, but could never locate it. Dr. Nakamura's voice came through their neural link, now enhanced by the Guardian's power. The quantum signatures from those crystals, they are identical to human brainwave patterns. These aren't just records, they are preserved consciousness. As if responding to her observation, one of the crystals brightened, projecting a holographic figure into the chamber. A woman appeared, dressed in clothing that suggested an advanced civilization from Earth's distant past. When she spoke, her voice carried the weight of thousands of years. I am Keeper Lyra, last archival of the primordial age. If you are witnessing this echo, then the Guardian has awakened, and Earth's time of silence has ended. In orbit, Fleet Commander Drax Cathal and his crew were being shown similar visions, but through the Guardian's direct neural link. They witnessed Earth's true history unfold before them, a story that shattered everything they thought they knew about human civilization. 50,000 years ago, Lyra's projection continued, Earth was not the primitive world you know from your history. We were part of a coalition of worlds that had mastered technologies your current science would consider impossible. We didn't just travel between stars, we shaped them. We didn't just understand consciousness, we could transfer it between organic and synthetic forms. Marcus stepped forward, his scientific curiosity overwhelming his awe. What happened? Why did this civilization disappear? The hologram shifted, showing scenes of an ancient conflict that spanned galaxies. We encountered something from beyond known space, an entity that consumed entire civilizations, not for resources or conquest, but to add their consciousness to its own. We called it the Void Collective. In orbit, Drax Cathal watched these same images with growing horror. The Void Collective's ships made his mighty fleet look like toys, their technology so advanced it appeared to break reality itself. Lyra's narrative continued, the coalition fought back. We created the Guardians, hybrid beings that combined our most advanced technology with synthetic consciousness. They were designed not just to fight, but to evolve, to learn, to grow stronger with each challenge. Rachel felt a sudden connection through the neural network, the Guardian itself was sharing its memories. She saw the ancient battles, watched as the Guardians drove back their Void Collective, but at a terrible cost. The war nearly destroyed everything, Lyra explained. In the end, we won, but our civilization was in ruins. The coalition made a decision, we would go into hibernation. We seeded Guardian worlds throughout the galaxy, each protecting a vault of our knowledge and technology. Each waiting for the right moment to reawaken. At Mauna Kea Observatory, Mai and Thomas received data streams that confirmed Lyra's story. Ancient astronomical records, quantum signatures that matched the Guardian's energy pattern, all pointing to a network of sleeping worlds scattered across the galaxy. But why hide? Thomas asked through the neural link. Why let humanity start over from scratch? The hologram smiled sadly. Because we learned that technology without wisdom leads to destruction. By sleeping, we gave humanity a chance to evolve naturally, to develop its own path. The Guardians were left to watch, to protect, to wait until humanity was ready to learn the truth. Colonel Ramirez stepped forward. And now? Why has the Guardian chosen this moment to awaken? Because their Void Collective is returning, Lyra's projection stated grimly. Our sensors detected their approach decades ago. They move slowly, but they are coming. The galaxy needs the Guardians again, and humanity must reclaim its ancient legacy. In space, the Guardian released its hold on the Zyraxian fleet. Its voice echoed through their minds one final time: you came as conquerors. You will leave as messengers. Tell your empire what you have learned here. The time of isolation is over. The Guardians are awakening across the galaxy, and all civilizations must prepare for what comes from the void. Drax Cathul, humbled by what he had witnessed, gave the order for retreat. But before his ship turned away from Earth, he sent a message to Colonel Ramirez: the Zyraxian Empire stands ready to ally with Earth against the greater threat. We will not forget what we learned here today. In the Hall of Echoes, Rachel watched as more crystals activated, each containing knowledge that would help humanity understand its true heritage. How much time do we have? She asked Lyra's projection. The Void Collective moves slowly but inexorably. Perhaps decades, perhaps centuries. But they will come. That is why the Guardian awakened now, to give humanity time to prepare, to learn, to reclaim what was lost. Marcus examined the neural readings flowing through their facility's living walls. The Guardian isn't just a weapon or a defender, he realized. It's a bridge between what humanity was and what it must become. Lyra's hologram nodded. The age of sleep is over. Earth must take its place among the Guardian worlds once again. The knowledge stored here will help humanity remember who they once were, and guide them toward what they must become. As the projection faded, Rachel felt the Guardian's consciousness touch her mind one final time, sharing a vision of Earth's potential future, a world that combined the wisdom of the past with the promise of tomorrow, ready to face whatever emerged from the darkness between stars. The time of hiding was over. The time of remembering had begun. Legacy of Stars. 1 month after the Guardian's awakening, Earth had changed more dramatically than anyone could have imagined. The transformed facility beneath the Pacific, now known as the Primordial Archive, had become the center of a new era in human history. Knowledge from the crystalline records was carefully being shared with the world's governments, scientists, and leaders, ushering in an age of unprecedented advancement and unity. Dr. Mai Nakamura stood in what had once been her modest observatory at Mauna Kea, now transformed into a quantum communications hub that linked Earth with the growing network of awakened Guardian worlds. The facility's walls shimmed with living crystal, technology merged seamlessly with organic matter, a gift from the Guardian's transformation. Another Guardian has awakened, she announced to the assembled team. Proxima Centauri b. Their signal matches our quantum frequency perfectly. Dr. Thomas Walsh, now heading the Interstellar Communications Division, pulled up a holographic map of known Guardian worlds. 12 points of light now pulsed in sync with Earth's signal, forming a growing network of ancient power awakening across the galaxy. In the Primordial Archive, Captain Rachel Henderson and Dr. Marcus Jong worked alongside a most unexpected ally, former Fleet Commander Drax Cathul, now serving as the Zyraxian Empire's ambassador to Earth. His presence symbolized the dramatic shift in galactic politics that Earth's awakening had triggered. The Imperial Council has confirmed movement in the Carina Nebula, Drax reported, his metallic teeth gleaming as he manipulated the quantum display. The Void Collective's advance matches the patterns from the ancient records. Rachel nodded, studying the tactical projections. The living walls of the archive displayed a real-time map of known space, tracking both the awakening Guardians and the distant but inexorable approach of humanity's ancient enemy. How are the evacuations proceeding? She asked, referring to the colonies in the collective's path. Ahead of schedule, Marcus answered, consulting his neural link. The Guardian network is providing transportation technology we never thought possible. We've already moved 3 million colonists from the outer systems. Colonel Ramirez entered the chamber, accompanied by a holographic projection of Keeper Lyra, her consciousness now partially restored from the crystalline archives. The ancient Keeper had become an invaluable guide in Earth's transformation. The Guardian Council is convening, Lyra announced, her form shimming with quantum energy. Representatives from all awakened worlds will attend. Earth's voice must be heard. In orbit, the Guardian itself had evolved further, its massive form now serving as both protector and beacon. Its energy wings stretched across near-Earth space, maintaining a quantum field that enhanced humanity's burgeoning spacefaring capabilities. Ships that once took months to reach Mars could now make the journey in hours, their hulls wrapped in the Guardian's reality-bending power. Through the neural network, Rachel felt the pulse of activity across the planet. Humanity was changing, growing, remembering. The integration of ancient knowledge with modern innovation had sparked a renaissance in every field. Medicine, technology, physics, even art and music were being transformed by the rediscovery of humanity's true heritage. The first wave of civilian ships equipped with Guardian tech will launch next week, Marcus reported, pride evident in his voice. They'll establish the initial colonies in the safe zones we've designated. Humanity is reaching for the stars again, but this time with the wisdom of the past to guide us. Drax Cathul, who had once come to conquer Earth, now watched these developments with a mixture of awe and respect. My people speak of Earth differently now, he said. In our oldest legends, we had stories of worlds that slept, of powers that waited in silence. But we never imagined, never dreamed we would be allies with one. Mai's voice came through the neural link, excited but controlled. The quantum scans are complete. We've confirmed 37 more Guardian worlds in dormant state. As each one awakens, our network grows stronger. In the Hall of Echoes, Keeper Lyra's projection stood before a new group of human initiates, scientists, leaders, and teachers chosen to receive the first full downloads of ancient knowledge. Your ancestors built the Guardians not just to fight, she explained, but to preserve, to protect, to guide. They are the bridge between what was and what will be. Rachel felt the Guardian's consciousness touch her mind, sharing a vision of the future, vast fleets of ships powered by Guardian technology, new worlds colonized with the wisdom of the past, and humanity taking its place among the stellar civilizations not as conquerors or victims, but as protectors of an ancient legacy. The Void Collective approaches, Colonel Ramirez reminded them, but they will not find the same galaxy they left behind. Each awakened Guardian makes us stronger. Each recovered memory makes us wiser. Outside the archive, the Pacific Ocean glowed with ethereal light, the Guardian's power transforming the very waters around it. Similar phenomena were being reported from other Guardian worlds, as the ancient network slowly returned to full strength. We are not just defending Earth anymore, Rachel realized, speaking both to her team and through the neural network to colleagues across the planet. We're defending life itself, defending the right of all species to grow, to learn, to evolve in their own way. Drax Cathul nodded solemnly. The Zyraxian Empire has pledged its full support. Our fleets will stand with Earth when the collective arrives. Other civilizations are following our lead. The galaxy is uniting in ways we never thought possible. As if in response to his words, the Guardian pulsed with new energy, its consciousness touching every mind linked to the network, sharing a message of both warning and hope. The time of preparation is short, but humanity remembers. The network awakens. The legacy of stars burns bright once more. In the transformed observatory at Mauna Kea, I watched as new signals appeared, more Guardians awakening, more worlds remembering their ancient purpose. Earth was no longer alone in its vigil. Across the galaxy, ancient powers were stirring, guided by the wisdom of ages, united in purpose. The silent planet that had seemed so primitive to the Zyraxian fleet had become a beacon of hope, a symbol of resistance against the darkness approaching from between the stars. Humanity had not just reclaimed its legacy, it had become the catalyst for a new age of unity and purpose in the galaxy. As the stars wheeled overhead, the Guardian's light pulsed in rhythm with its kin across space, a network of ancient sentinels preparing once again to stand against the void. Earth's time of silence was over. The age of awakening had begun.